Welcome to Willinrow Arts. I'm Leslie, and today we are going to do a kit makeover. This kit is called, and you can't see it because they put the nice sticker over it. I got this from Amazon. Okay, this is that little house I'm going to make over, and I want to turn this happy house into a haunted house. So let's do it. So I'm just going to build this kit and follow the basic directions here. I'm not going to show the whole start to finish of building this kit. I'll just kind of zoom through little bits and pieces. But let's get started. I already opened it and I prepped some cutouts in case I want to use these. We have everything ready to go. So we have our cutouts. We have different directions. It comes with the ruler. It comes with tweezers and a paintbrush and some white color and my own scissors. All kinds of fun little doodads to put in the house. I'm going to use my tacky glue. A lot of these kits don't explain everything, but this one tells you what every little thing is and where it is. I appreciate that. And I think I got this for, at the time, it was under $15. I just saw it on Amazon again and it was around $17. I don't think that's a bad price. I'm going to start with the building. Have an X-Acto blade handy or a craft knife because a lot of these little things are just connected by little tabs. There are certain pieces that call for paper bits. I might forgo those because I'm going to be painting it my own colors, and some I just might put in but still paint over. I'm just going to play with it as I see fit. I think it's supposed to be glass. It wants me to score the plastic so it bends. I'm just going to show little bits here and there of making this kit. My favorite part is the makeover of the kit. I was a little heavy-handed. I pushed too hard on these pieces when I sanded. If you get a kit like this, just be a little bit gentle. In my case, I'm turning this into a haunted house, so a little break will just add character. The directions want us to get a light in place, so I'm going to go ahead and do that in case when I put it together I can't get to this area. A pendant light. So it's pretty clever. Bead caps and then polygon shaped beads. It's going to be like a pendant light that hangs like this. That's kind of fun. That could be interesting. So the light's back here and it wants us to glue the pendant light here. So I think it's going to be more of like a backlit type of thing. This particular kit wants you to decorate as you go, add everything, and then glue things on. So you'd have the first floor done before you'd glue the top. For my purposes, I'm not going to do that. So that might be tricky in the end because it's so small, but we will go with it and just the way it's going to be. We'll see if I'll be like, hate myself later. I have the wallpaper in place. If I decide that's not the look I'm going for, I'll change that. These hinges, not a fan of. Okay, the problem is they say put a little glue here, but not here. And it's a new day, and I have to admit, I struggled a little bit with these hinges. The idea is great. You put the hinge in, and then you sandwich it between two pieces of wood. Great, but they still don't flatten great together after you do that. And to get the hinge to stay, you really need super glue. Maybe there's other types of glues you can use, but I thought super glue was the best course of action. If you get glue in the hinges, they don't want to work. I feel okay about it, but I was struggling. So if you get a kit like this and it has hinges and you're doing the type of hinge where you need to glue the hinge rather than screw it down, the wood's too thin for the screws. Be patient if you have the things and don't glue the hinges shut. All right, let's keep going. What is next? I don't know. I mentioned this is another little pendant light I made, that LED light with a little clear bead and then some lace wrapped around, which is a really good idea for a light. What do you call those windows? I'm gonna make a couple of these. We have our base of our little house done. Super cute. We're gonna finish up the light fixtures and I'm just gonna wire everything together. We have the lights in and they're all in working order. Has a nice little switch. It's like a pretty cool kit. I like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and make a lot of this stuff and then we'll just see what we want to use. So we have a super cute little couch and armchair. Since this kit, for the details, it relies heavily on photos, you can easily do this on your own. If you want to make a teeny tiny miniature, just get some magazine pictures of like a kitchen or on the internet, and you can do the same thing. I think it would be like so easy because this is like so small. So it gives the idea a simple way to make furniture, you know. You can use cardstock or cereal boxes for this, chipboard, anything. And you could easily do this. That's a good way to make a sink with mirror paper. I'm gonna try that again. Then I made a faucet from a bead and a wire. It's a new day here, and I want to start off the day by just distressing the house a little bit, aging it before I add anything in. I'm distressing inside a little bit, kind of peeling some wallpaper. I want this haunted house to kind of look like it's been abandoned. Comes with a little bathroom. So this little guy is supposed to be a shower head. It's just made with a little wire, some 2 little brown beads, little bead cap, and then some other little beads that are supposed to be the faucet handles. I don't have my words right now. They had me make a little towel rack. I cut the little ladder out of the template, and then I added a couple pieces of cloth. Cut out a shape of a mirror. Just a little mirror. And then this is a little basket, wicker printed paper, some cloth, and a little blue towel. Okay, now I'm going to assemble everything. Just making a bed. So we have a cute little fridge here it came with. It's a new day here. I'm going to add a base because what I want is to be able to have some like landscape around where we have to do it in such a way where we can still open it. I want a little side opportunity here. I'm not worried about the back side too much. And then I'm going to cut the hole in here for the battery. Sometimes with projects, you don't always have a clear-cut plan. You kind of do it as you go. I knew I wanted a spooky haunted house. Now, is it going to be cute spooky or eerie spooky? We'll figure that out as it comes. So what I'm going to attempt to do next, so I can still open this, is I'm going to have this piece of cardboard. I'm going to glue it to the front area here. And my hope is it will still slide back and forth to it, but to do it. And can we still open? We can still open. All right, I feel good about that. Now, I'm going to give everything a black coat of paint just to get the base covered. Okay, the next thing I want to do is add in a ground layer. I have some moss that I dried out actually from my yard last year. A handy dandy peanut butter jar. Let's mark our zones because we don't want to glue anything beyond a certain area because otherwise we won't be able to open and close. And then this zone is going to have to be marked. EVA glue, little coffee grinds, front path. This kit came, and I don't know if I mentioned this, some of the little objects that it came with are already pre-built. So it came with little stairs. So I think it would be fun if we had some of the front of the house was stone. I'm going to add little stone bits. Little pieces of tissue paper would be the best way to add teeny stone. So I'm going to make a bunch of little teeny balls of tissue paper, and then I'm going to glue that on the front. That's going to resemble my stone texture. We'll paint that black, and then we'll go back and add grays and stuff to it. I'm not a fan of the floor here, so I'm just going to discolor it. Then I want some like crime. Was this abandoned? Is it just haunted? What is going on? What happened in this house? As some of you may know, I've been dabbling into digital sculpting. So I've been trying to make different things. And if you watch my last video, you know I made the witch and the frog and the cauldron and a cat. I've been trying to make a skeleton, the whole skeleton. This is my skeleton minus his head. I think it came out pretty good for my first time ever sculpting something like that. It's not accurate. So I want to show you my attempts. I've tried to print him small because I thought it'd be fun to have some skeletons in this diorama. Did not have success, but we got some pieces. I was trying to guesstimate the size of this diorama. I thought it was 1/48 scale. Got to show you where I'm at with my adventures here. Here's my little guys. This guy is 1/12 scale. So that's a 1/12 scale. And I just have to figure out what went wrong with the head. It might have been the way I put the supports and it didn't quite form because I didn't have it tilted the right way. I'm still learning those tricks. And here's his foot came off for some reason. But then I tried to make little guys. We got some little pieces, you know? It could work. I just have to learn how to tweak. And then we have some skulls. Some actually came out. Some we lost the jawbone. I'm so impressed. I was hoping to put one like in a chair, but I might be able to work a skull in the bed. You know, at least we'll know it's there. Let me make this bed match the other scenery by dirtying it up a bit. I need to come up with a story. What happened here? What happened with this house? Anybody have some good stories of what happened? I think it would be fun to have like a foot hanging out the bed. I'm going to try to position it so one leg is... So now we'll cover him up. Something happened. This guy passed away in bed. Did something go down? Did he just pass away in his sleep? And that's why his house went to ruin and no one found him? You guys can come up with a story. Is it more malicious? This came with a little pre-made wardrobe. I just had to add the beads. Gonna grungify everything. There is a mystery black hole underneath my desk where everything is dropping to and I can't find it. The footstool that matches that disappeared. You would think that would be easy to see because it's got that brown plaid. All right, well, maybe it will reappear and maybe we don't need it. We will work on the downstairs next. It's a new day here, and I did some more prints. I showed you this guy. I made this skull. That obviously is not the right size. That would be a little head. I still have to work on my scale. Pretty fun. He came out pretty cool. So the other thing I did, I made this fireplace with like messy bookshelves. Adding a little bit of decorative elements to my bookcase. I added a little bowl with dried flowers. I made some candles out of beads and little white wires. I thought made perfect little candles. And I'm just adding a little touch here and there just to add some color to the fireplace, and then I will put it in the diorama. I made a little decorative mirror just using some of that mirror paper. And then I added little nail cabochons around the edge and painted those a antique color. This is a little bedside table. I thought this little lamp was very clever. It's a little screw upside down with a bead on top and then a bead cap over that. I thought that was so clever. What a great idea. That was part of the kit. Next, I have some little chairs here that I 3D printed. This one, the seat didn't quite make it through in the bottom rail. But again, in this diorama, I'm looking for that worn out, weathered, forgotten look. I didn't care for the chairs that came with the kit. It was the type of chairs where you have to bend wire. They're rounded chairs. And I never can make each chair look like the previous chair. So I decided to make my own. So let's work on some more foliage. I like this little tree branch that I found outside. I'm going to put this right here. This part of the house back here, you can't see. This part of the house right here is supposed to be like a little sunroom. So we made some different little baskets just with some of this material. And then we put a little wire between for a basket. And then we're going to add some greenery inside. Now I want to grow some vines, just wrap vines all around. So they're like growing willy-nilly throughout the environment. Are they growing from in the greenhouse? Are they growing from out of the greenhouse? We don't know. We're going to add that Spanish moss, weaving it around the windows. Let's add in this torn up awning that's weathered over the years. I'm going to add some sponge material that is for bushes. I just made out of cut up sponge and I painted it different colors. We're going to use some dried leaves and some foliage here and there for some final touches. I want to thank you all for watching. This was a fun little kit to make over. I highly recommend this kit and I'll link it in the description. If you have an idea what happened with this house, I'd love to hear your story. I'm going to take some final shots and I hope you all have a wonderful, spooky season. Also, friends, if you like what I do, please like and subscribe and share my channel with your friends. I'm really trying to grow my channel more, and that's pretty much the only way it can work. Thanks so much.